Oh boy, I'm gonna smash that like button. Let's get it.
Hot top sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ
Oh
with the
my
fist.
goodness.
Bringing
It's
five
Wednesday.
Cowboy
It just hit me. It's the best day of the week.
Bets, watch the stories unfold.
Oh!
And you truly eyebrows. Running the show.
Present, I'm here.
It's hot top sports, baby.
Let's get it. Let's go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to, in fact, the best day of the week here at High Top Sports. We got a banger. Coaches are getting fired. Coaches are getting arrested. Coaches are allegedly getting people pregnant. I don't know. I don't want to get sued, but that's what I hear, okay? That's what the streets are saying. The Twitter streets are talking, and that's what's being talked about as of now. There is a phenomenon. I mean, I don't know if it's just this is the norm and we've been blocked out for so long, but Coach Sumrall did an interview with Barstools, like just a good old fashioned bro to bro, fun, refreshing interview. And I've been really like yearning, whatever the word is, for a presser, because I just want to see our coach talk. But this was satisfying. This was more satisfying than a presser because it was just one-on-one. You could tell that the guy hasn't slept in 48 hours, just wired out of his mind, ready to go. A lot of great sound bites. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the coaching saga that's happening on our side with the assistants. We'll get Hollywood in here to talk about it. And then I've cooled down. We can talk basketball now. All right, we can dive into the basketball world of what happened yesterday. Maybe Hollywood could soothe some of my anger a little bit and calm me down some. But be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and of course, we got to do the advent calendar. I know it's the only reason you guys even tune in anymore, so I'm going to hold it to the end of the show to keep you guys hooked. All right, so we got our boys with us here. We got Connor Clark, Hollywood joining in. Of course, David Swoulder joins the show. Ladies and gents, guys, gentlemen, welcome back. How you guys doing, Swoulder? How you feeling, big guy?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling great. Sherrone Moore's probably not feeling great right now, but I'm feeling great. I've had a great weekend, and actually, it was funny. I was talking in the Discord to Sippy and Coots. That's in our like little private Discord there, and I got pulled over in the middle of that while I was in the car talking on the Bluetooth. So that was fun. Apparently, I have my tag lights are out, so I got to change those. But didn't get a ticket or anything. Sheriff was nice. So any sheriffs around like Cherokee County area, Cobb County area, hey, look, I'm getting it fixed. So just don't pull me over again. All right. So we're good on that part. Yeah. I know. Right. Swoulder gets pulled over on the way back from the gym trying to get ready for the best day of the week. Like, why does that happen to people like me? I don't know. But hey, it's Wednesday. It's high top. Best day of the week. Let's get it. Let's go.
Look at you and Sherrone. Just, be getting a little dirt dog in you. All right. Hollywood, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Feeling good. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on today that we can discuss. But man, what a day!
I love how I come here screaming and yelling. I got Swoulder flexing. Then we go to Hollywood. He goes, yeah, just happy to be here, guys. What's up? He's a y'all two crackheads. I ain't got time for all this nonsense. Let's talk about some sports.
I'm just here to provide balance.
It's just to report the news.
You do it phenomenally. You do it. It's wonderful. I love it. Let's talk Sherrone Moore first. I know we talk heavily Gator stuff, but this is we can't overlook this because there could be a bit of an impact on us because now we have opened another powerhouse of a college football team that is now coachless. That is now going to enter into the search. The hot boards have already started. You want to hear the three names that I saw? It was DeBoer, Brian Kelly was another one. Dillingham is another one. Who are some other names we want to throw out there? The Portnoy, obviously big Michigan guy. His list was John Gruden, Lane Kiffin, DeBoer, I believe, was on there. It was a wild one. It was crazier than ours. It was like a 3-year-old's Christmas wish list. It was like Ferrari, Bentley, a tank for my Tommy the neighbor. Like that was the kind of the wish list it was. Was Saban on the list? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I didn't see Urban or like even one of the coaches that came back from the dead or something like that. I mean, like I saw his list and I was just like, wow. I mean, like if you're gonna go from what you had to something like this, you're shelling out a heck of a lot more money.
Oh,
which
Lanning?
I'm not sure Michigan has. I'm sure they
Clark
do.
Lee,
I know Portnoy does.
Dion and Jeff Monken. That was his list. Now, do they land one of those? I think there's a few that are possible. Hollywood, how do you feel about those names on the list, big guy?
I mean, it is Christmas time, so let's go shopping.
Right.
Let's go
I
shopping.
mean, you have to just. I mean, when you start the coaching search, you have to throw out the most outlandish names possible. Get that out of the way first, and then you start to go with people that are actually candidates for the job. So,
Well, look, we're experts in this, and to be fair, when you go back and you look at old tweets, obviously Dan Thompson, our guy, his list did not consist of John Sumrall. So I don't think anybody's list had old Coach John on that thing. So we'll see how this thing pans out. But this is going to cause another massive domino. Not great timing for Michigan, I wouldn't believe, but who knows how much pull they're able to have if they're able to flip somebody. And then on top of that, he gets fired. Right? The reason he got fired was for cause. For anybody that's living under a rock. The cause was sexual relations with an employee. Somebody employed. And then you start reading the tea leaves. There was a clear $60,000 jump in her salary from one year to the next. And also there's some other, there's so many rumors flying. I don't want to get into the rumor mill, but then he was arrested or detained just hours ago as well too. Now, what's being said about that is that he was at said person's house. Wild times here. Like, absolute chaos is going on here for Sherrone Moore in Michigan. They really take cheating seriously there in all accords. They're really standing by that standard. And look, kudos to them for living up to the culture. Do they get plucked apart like Penn State? I mean, we saw Penn State kind of, they fall apart. And their DC, Jim Knowles, arguably the best DC in the country, has now took a job at Tennessee, which that's not fun news to hear for Florida fans. So, I mean, it has been a chaotic last little 4 hours here before we line up for the show. A lot of crazy nonsense happening.
Yeah, we were actually talking before the show. It's like, hey, we need something to talk about, some material. And look, lo and behold, we get some material with the courtesy of the Michigan Wolverines right here. And they've been through the ringer because, like, it was like a few years ago, they had like the I guess the supposed sanctions or whatever they were going to get in trouble for really didn't even matter. And now you got this with somebody, taking Knowles from you, and then you have your head coach getting fired for cause. I mean, that whole team is just getting destroyed over the past 3 years. I mean, like, look, Florida's had some bad luck, right? Like, we all talk about how much bad luck Florida's had over the past, 10, 15 years. But, man, this series of stuff that's happening in Michigan, whew.
Wow. No, it wasn't a minor.
I don't know
It wasn't a minor. It was not a minor. No, she was an adult from what I
hope
see.
not.
Yeah. Guys, we got almost 900 people in here. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Uh-oh. What did Dan just send me?
It wasn't a love letter, was it? Oh, it must be something juicy.
I don't know if I want to read this. It's about the Sherrone situation of what happened. I don't want to read this on the air. This is aggressive of what happened. Have you seen it? I'm assuming you've seen it, Hollywood. Okay. You probably
so I was informed of the Sherrone Moore situation about just under a week ago, I think. That this was very possibly going to happen within the next week. Didn't really pay much attention to it as things were going on. Just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. And yeah, when it all came out today, of course, all the timeline and social media and everything went crazy. And then the crazy twist of him being detained because he was at somebody's house, and the possibility of some harm happening to a possible party in the situation. Again, I don't want to say too much because I want to be sensitive to those that are in the situation that could be affected by anything. And of course, I don't want to slander anyone without solid, hard, concrete evidence. But yeah, I was informed about it, and it took a wild turn a couple hours ago with him being detained in Michigan.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's hard to say this. Yeah, grow a set and read it. It's not about growing a set. It's about, like, what, again, I'll say this. What is being said is he broke into her house, and there was some physical harm, whether it was caused either to him or to her, which is what caused him to be detained. Right? That part is what's being said. But you got to be careful about these things. If you go out there and start spewing nonsense and none of it's true, you end up like Pat McAfee show being sued because you're just saying stuff that you ain't got a clue on. So that's more my concern. And the stuff here is very it ain't pretty. And again,
very sensitive for sure.
Very sensitive. It's not like it's gonna change anything. I mean, it's you get the gist of it. They were busting uglies. They shouldn't have been, both adults. And yeah, obviously one thing led to another, and here we are. So, all right, let's move on. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got Coach Sumrall. We've got I didn't know if I wanted to talk about this or not, but Hollywood, who's our mediator, the one that kind of keeps things even keel, said we should about Napier. I feel like I want to move on, but he keeps teasing me, and I feel like he should go and do what he wants. But this felt like a slap in the face. This is where I was like, what's up, bro? And Hollywood supported me because I was like, maybe I'm being too emotional. His quote from his presser today says, "I got a lot to prove. This is probably the most motivated I've been since I've been a head coach." Now, you could argue, what else is he supposed to say? I hear you, but I don't know how you aren't motivated to coach for the University of Florida. Now, I may have said that at the beginning. I don't know. Then he says, we'll be making a change from what he did at Florida. An offensive coordinator will call the offensive plays. I'm excited about that. This... Give me something to throw. Give me this. It's been 30 days. It's been 30 days, Billy. It took you 30 days to have a clear mind to go, maybe I should have. Brother, we've been telling you for 2 years. I'm just...
Shelton, calm down, man. I watched that stream last night. I saw you last night about the basketball game. You've been on a burner lately, man. You got to chill, relax, tone it down a little bit. Turn the volume down.
Basketball had me in shambles. No question.
Hey, Lee did good though. Lee did good. On a night that Lee does good, everybody else just decides not to. Yeah.
We'll talk about Lee in a minute. But what are your thoughts on Nape, Hollywood? Since I got it off my chest there.
Yeah, I mean, as Florida's fan base, seeing that quote probably did exactly to everybody else what it did to you. He was strongly encouraged, not forced or told, obviously, strongly encouraged to hire an offensive coordinator to call plays, not just in title. And he decided not to do that, said that his offensive play calling is what got him here. And he was right. His offensive coordinating is what got him here and ultimately got him fired. Now, for him to move over to a program like James Madison, where he probably could call plays at a more successful clip than what he did at Florida, and decide that that's the job that he wants to hire an offensive coordinator for, good for him for figuring it out. And it really is a big middle finger to the Florida fan base that he's like, oh, you know what? I'm finally going to let it happen.
Well, he did have an OC. It was Russ Callaway. It was just,
Well, no.
Again,
he clarified, I'm going to have an OC that call plays. He knew what he was doing.
Just in tight.
Even more so. He knew that he was toying us the whole time because he hired us an OC. But now he said, I'm going to hire an OC that actually calls him. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not happy, Billy. I was trying to be even keel. I was going to support you, but this one was a bit much for me. This one felt like it was a jab,
Now, the only thing that would make Florida fans laugh and be happy about this situation is if the person that he hires to call plays was already on Florida's staff with him and he brings him over to JMU, because then who cares?
If it's Ryan O'Hara, I'll be like, okay, that's fine. It's the same thing. Yeah, we're good.
If it's Ryan O'Hara, Russ Callaway, any of those guys, if they're the ones calling the plays, okay, it's the same old Billy Napier. But if he actually goes out and makes an external hire, that'll light the fire a little bit.
I actually got some inside info on that. I heard that he's going to hire a guy named, I think it was Marshall O'Donohue, I think.
Oh, goodness. $5 from Raymond says, is Lagway transferring? I've been hearing about it, but don't really know if there's any truth to it. Let's dive into the Sumrall interview because I want to talk about a clip that I found intriguing, personally. I don't know if he answers it, but we're going to read some tea leaves. All right, so we're going to do that. This is his interview today. Very fun interview. Go watch it. It's on Wake Up Barstool on their YouTube page. It just kind of, it's just so refreshing from what we've come from. Like, you can just see he's just an all-about guy. They asked him about raisins. I think he handled, like, it was a dumb question, but he handled it well. Like, I love the question, but then he saw pretty quickly, like, John's like, bro, I'm like at wits. Like, you can see it in his eyes. He's like, what are we doing here? Asked me about raisins. And then pretty quickly, Brandon Walker was like, that was a dumb question. He didn't say that, but you could tell he's like, I'm asking this guy about raisins, and he's doing 4 jobs right now. I was like, kudos to everybody involved, like having good self-awareness. Great stuff, Peter. But you'll hear the question, but they ask about managing the roster turnover, retaining it, and also how he plans to attack the portals. Good stuff.
Coach, what about roster evaluation nowadays? Now, I'm sure you have a GM that you trust and you put in NFL-like systems in place, but specifically when you go to a program like Florida and you're looking at it and you have a guy like DJ Lagway, right? Like, what does that process look like on a player-to-player basis? But specifically with Lagway, like, where does he rank on keeping him, maybe valuing, looking somewhere else? What does that look like?
Well, you just have to have open, honest conversations with everybody, and no matter who it is. And so, as we work through those conversations, some guys will stay, some guys, you're not going to be 100% retention. I'm not going to be specific publicly on each guy, but like, some guys may want to look elsewhere. Some guys may want to stay. It's just the world we live in, and so we've got to do what's best for the University of Florida. We got a lot of good players here. We need to keep a lot of them. There will be a guy or two probably move on. It's going to stake at some points. We're going to work our tail off to make sure we got this roster right. Dave Caldwell's our GM. He's got NFL experience as the GM of the Jags and as an executive with the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to put together an elite roster here at the University of Florida.
And then how do the conversations work from the Tulane side? If there's guys that you think would be a fit at Florida, are those conversations that you have had as of yet, or does that wait, or how's that work?
Yeah, I've told the team at Tulane I will not talk to them about going in the portal at all.
Okay.
If any guy goes in the portal and they're good enough to play here, then I'll recruit them. But I'll have zero conversation. I didn't steal one commit from Tulane to Florida.
Yeah.
We signed 14 dudes at Tulane last week with no head coach in place for 2026. We signed 18 guys here at Florida. I flipped 0 commitments to Florida. If we got a player on our roster at Tulane that goes in the portal that's good enough to play here, I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
But I will recruit 0 of them to go into the portal.
So that's refreshing.
So this is 2 questions here, and it was two different styles of answers. I've watched a little bit of John now to notice that question after the DJ was a little coach talk. And you can really see the coach talk because of how open he is. You saw this, like, it was perfect how back-to-back, like, he was confident. He was himself in the second question. Not that he wasn't confident in the second one or the first part, but it felt like he was trying to navigate, because we've seen some tweets from players, the Brandon Spikes tweets of, like, what the hell, like, these guys don't want to play for the logo. It's all about a paycheck. I think there was a little bit of that in his face. Kind of didn't really answer the DJ. Answered it in a roundabout way, which I find that interesting because in his presser, he gave Ball a lot of love. He was not shy on mentioning Jaden Ball. So the DJ Lagway one's interesting. I haven't heard any smoke of him leaving. The guy was at the presser. I believe he genuinely wants to be a Gator. At the end of the day, there has to be two exceptions to that. Both have to agree. And I'd assume he probably has an expectation of what he wants and John has his own expectations. So that was intriguing to me. There's obviously been some smoke that I don't know how much, and maybe Hollywood, you can speak to this, the connection to the Notre Dame quarterback kid. Was that just us being thrown out there, or is there some smoke behind that? I found it very intriguing, though, of how he answered that question. And again, we expected people to leave, so that wasn't really anything earth-shattering to me. We knew that. We anticipate that. And he even said it'll be some guys that hurt. I think huge shout out to Caldwell. I've actually kind of said that this morning of, like, I think it's the fact that we haven't had much movement. Tavarius Brown, our defensive lineman that we brought in 2 years ago that hasn't even seen the football field. He entered into the portal today. So only 2 guys, which I think is a huge compliment to the staff and to Caldwell on they're doing a good job of navigating this while Florida State's lost the entire staff. But I'll let you go from there, Hollywood. And then I want to talk about him navigating the relationship between us and Tulane.
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, I see some people in the comments on the sides talking about how Caldwell was a terrible GM for the Jags. I think it's a big difference being an NFL GM and being a college GM, first and foremost. So to say that Caldwell's going to suck at Florida,
and Lane sucks as head coach at one point. Like
to say that Caldwell sucked at Jacksonville is not comparing apples to apples. And part number 2, before we get into that other stuff, is he's been working the last 4 or 5 years with the best GM in the NFL by far.
Yep.
And was a part of their scouting department and got glowing recommendations from a former Florida alum that kind of said, hey, this is a guy that I really value. I think he would kill it at the University of Florida, and you guys should hire him. I'm going to take Howie Roseman's word over these side chats over here from the 900 plus people that are sitting here. So please like and subscribe. But
yeah, I was like, all right, Napier, just say they're in their mom's basement next time. Jeez, Connor.
Central, what is it? Suburban Central Florida basement?
Yeah, you basement dwellers.
But I say that to say this. So the current NIL deals that are inked for these players on the roster were not done by this staff. So there is going to be reworking of deals.
Yes.
Some players are not going to like that reworking of deals. So there is going to be attrition. That's natural. Obviously, like you said, we've already seen 2 guys, and these guys are not idiots. Caldwell is very smart. Sumrall's very smart. Brad White's very smart. Faulkner, if he ever gets announced, is very smart. These guys know the players that are the most important to their roster, the players that have the most gravity on the roster that will help keep people around. And from my understanding, some of those calls and some of those meetings have already been had with players that are of the utmost importance for this team. DJ Lagway being one of them.
Oh.
I think DJ Lagway wants to be a Florida Gator.
Oh.
John Sumrall wants to keep him as a Florida Gator.
Ooh.
DJ has changed his quarterback coach. He's now training with John Beck.
Somebody hand me a bomb. Where's the mic?
At D3, it's D3 like QB development, something like that. And is working on cutting some weight, is working on improving his mechanics, and would like to play next season around 225 pounds, which is huge. I think all of us at this point last year, when he wasn't practicing, were like, he needs to cut weight, or going into the season here, and he was around 250 pounds. He has to play at a lighter weight. So DJ's done everything he can on his end to try and get better for next year to be a Florida Gator. Now, conversations are going to be had with GM, with new staff, with John Sumrall, and we don't know how those conversations are going to go because we are not behind the closed doors. But from everything that I have heard, DJ Lagway wants to be a Gator. John Sumrall wants to keep him at Florida. I do not expect DJ Lagway to hit the portal unless something crazy happens. Now, this is the NIL era of college football, so you never know what's going to happen. But again, DJ Lagway, among several other players, have been prioritized to keep around at the University of Florida.
We talked this morning, and I'm not letting you off the hook just that easy, Hollywood. Just real quick, we talked this morning because a Texas insider dropped that the ball NIL deal it seems to be good to go. Again, nothing is ironclad in the NIL era, but I know that you also had some insight, but I didn't want to out you. So
another one.
It was nice seeing extra confirmation from somebody else.
Yeah. He's another one. Obviously, going to be a huge target for teams in the portal. Obviously, we know Sumrall mentioned him by name in the conference, which makes him somebody that you have to find a way to keep around. His situation is very, very encouraging at the University of Florida as of right now.
Turn off your DMs, Connor. Turn them off.
Yeah, because I mean, I asked Connor and the boys earlier, hey, what do we want to talk about? And Connor said nothing. And then Connor was like, I thought he was gonna like late. I thought he quit. And then he comes in and just drops nugget after nugget there. That basically DJ's on the set for a Heisman campaign. That's what he just said. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Relax. Those are all great things hearing about DJ Lagway. And again, like you kind of love hearing. It was very refreshing. Things that we kind of alluded to a lot last year of his weight and being too big and all those things. Well, he's like 250 right now, right? So to get down to 225 is massive. And Shane Matthews was a huge critic of that, of him being too big for that position. So, and again, I think your synopsis of Caldwell was phenomenal. I think, again, like not the greatest of track records when you're a Jags fan. I think there's just a lot of PTSD from when he was in Jacksonville. Not the greatest run. Had one good year. But yeah, just mismanaged a lot of different things. But being a part of that Eagles, and I said that in this morning show when we talked about Ball, I go, look, he didn't want to be the Giants, right? Ball is Saquon. He's like, we're just going to be the Eagles again, and we already have our Saquon. I don't need to go steal him, so we're not going to say, hey, go shop around. No. You're not leaving the building, kid. Get in here. Let's get this thing figured out, and I'm going to work on the rest of the roster. I won a Super Bowl when I signed the best running back in the league, so I know how to do this. And again, the fact that we haven't heard much noise, I think, is a huge compliment to the staff. I'm still expecting noise, right? Like you said, a lot of these guys were put together from Nick Polk, and I'd imagine those deals are probably very erotic in some sort of probably being a little uneven. So I think there's going to probably be some ironing out if there will. Erotic probably wasn't the right word. Maybe erratic might have been a better word there. Yeah. But look, I like that because
Connor
again,
he's very well versed in the actual journalistic language, so you can learn a lot from him.
Yeah. He was there. Give me the eyes. It's like he's my third base coach. You know what I'm saying? He hit me with the. Sometimes he fails me.
We have him around.
He failed me in my pick'ems with his eyes, but this time we were good to go. No need for a random Giant stray. I mean, they can't pull their head out of their ass. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah. Speaking of Giants, I saw like a post earlier today that said like Marcus Freeman was like negative 200 in Vegas to be like the New York Giants coach. Like, what's going on there?
Anything else you have for us on that, Hollywood? I mean, any nuggets about that? I mean,
yeah. On Marcus Freeman, no.
Oh, okay, no, that's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line.
Okay, cool.
This is why we have him around. It takes like all the heat and the DMs off me. I can just let him say what he's got to say, and then I'm just here. I support the news. I have no inside info. None.
I love it. Please fix the spelling of your website down below. I mean, see, it just happens.
I mean, that's
very,
typical.
Very important.
Yeah. Let's talk about the second half of the quet. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, we got more.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't want to miss the second half of that question as well. So please go ahead.
You can rock. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So I think So the second half of that question was essentially them asking him straight out, "Have you tried to pull anybody from Tulane to go to Florida with you?" And I think his answer was fantastic because he has, from the very beginning, prioritized, I want to leave Tulane in a better place than when I found it. And like he said, he didn't pull any commits because the offensive lineman, I'm spacing on his name right now, that was their highest rated recruit.
Yeah.
The day that Sumrall got announced at Florida, told Rivals he was flipping.
Yeah.
Rivals even posted it. And Sumrall essentially told him, hey, do not do this. Stay at Tulane. They build them up kind of thing. And then I think 24 hours later, he tweeted, I won't be signing until February. My understanding was that he was hoping at some point that later on down the line, Sumrall would take him at Florida if he waited until February to sign his papers. Well, another 24 hours after that, he signs his paperwork to Tulane. So one, phenomenal job by Sumrall keeping the class together for Florida. Phenomenal job for him. Yes, Tylen George, thank you. To Nick in the comments. A phenomenal job by Sumrall of getting him to honor his commitment, even though he wanted to follow Sumrall to Florida. So with him kind of alluding to that same mindset for the portal, I love how he said, I'm not going to try and entice anybody to come to Florida with me, but if they hit the portal of their own accord and I think they can play at Florida, 100%, I'm calling them and trying to bring them over here.
And I think that's a polite way, personally, of saying, like, hey, none of these cats ain't good enough to come here. But I can't tell them that. And so I think that's more of what...
No, I don't think that's necessarily the case, because there are, I mean, I'm not a college scout. I've never claimed to be smarter than the people that are in football offices at the Division I level. I've seen a couple of the players on that team. There are a couple that he could bring
staff
over that
I would take. Current roster, I would. The linebacker that like cleans the plane.
You're talking Tulane's current roster.
Current roster, there were definitely some dudes on that thing I would snatch. I'm talking about more so the recruits.
Recruiting class. Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, like him not stealing. No, there's definitely some dudes on that team that, I saw him play, and I was like, they play right now, 100%, no question. It was more of the recruits of like, he was like, hey, like I can't, I'm gonna get hit with the Napier stench really quick if I'm flipping 3-star G5 guys to Florida. Okay, so we can't do that. If he brings a guy over from Tulane in the portal, I mean, look, Bowling Green is Edge U. Okay, so they've got one in the portal now. Go get him. Like listen. The only thing that I'm not okay with him getting is Ivy League cats. Those guys are not allowed at the University of Florida. I have no shame in G5 players. Okay, G5 JUCO. Those guys, love those guys. Jacoby Jackson, Brian Taylor. Those are JUCO dudes. Those are fine. Ivy League, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. Nada. I don't even want. Nope. What? Nope. Nope. No.
I watched
I don't want them.
Their conference championship game. God, Sheldon. I watched the conference championship game, and what I noticed about their defensive players, they play really fast. Like they're flying all over the field. The only issue was they weren't tackling really well. So I hope that clears up. Sumrall clears some of that stuff up. But other than that, man, I was pretty impressed with how fast and physical they played for a team that I think the talent profile, they have like a 68th ranked talent profile nationally, and how they played against North Texas. Of course, like towards the end of that game, North Texas started to come back a little bit, but Tulane was so far ahead that it wasn't going to even really happen at that point. So I felt really good just watching that game. And then on top of that, I know they play Ole Miss. I'm not going to expect them to beat Ole Miss. That game could be a little bit more competitive in a rematch because we've seen rematches so far and like the Alabama, Georgia, all that stuff. And look, the matches are a lot better. Georgia blew out Alabama this time when Alabama beat them during the regular season.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they're going to play Ole Miss. I'm very excited to see, and he talked about that too as well. Like, look, we're a different team than what we were week 4 to what we are now. We were a coach-led team week 4, and I believe that great teams, elite teams, are player-led teams, and we are now. There was a switch, and we're now a player-led football team. So I'm excited to see how they're going to play against Ole Miss. I'm going to obviously again kind of look at it through the same eyes I did North Texas of minimal expectation, but again, it was so refreshing to watch, even just that game of like, man, these are things that we haven't seen in 4 years, which is crazy to think about, right? Given we're supposed to be the University of Florida. So real quick, this Scott Hughes, who's an independent journalist, just tweeted this out 50 minutes ago about Sherrone Moore. Says, update, Sherrone Moore was detained and arrested after breaking into the home of the staffer he had an affair with. Moore threatened to kill the staffer and himself, and is currently in protective custody. So we kind of alluded to that. But now it's being tweeted out like it's going across the thing now. This isn't just like a message boards. An independent journalist reported it. So wild times.
Yeah.
Wild times.
It was. I think it was around like 4 p.m. that got reported, and like I remember talking to you, like saying we got some stuff to talk about. And it's like now we got more stuff to talk about. We opened the show with that.
Oh, Scott Hughes is a parody. Okay, well, it says independent journalist when I go in there. I don't even know what to believe anymore. Okay,
maybe was it an 03 account?
No, it looked legit when I clicked in there. I was like, all right, independent. It looks small. I mean, it had 10,000 likes. There's literally like 3 things all saying the same thing. I was like, all right, well, it's out there now.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Nobody
knows what's fake and real anymore, bro. No 3 is running rampant. He's pissing everybody. He's pissing me off as of late with his. I'm like, brother, you got to stop it, dude. People are freaking out, panicking. He hit me up like, I'm like, no, just stop it. Just stop it. There's 1,500 people in here, guys. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. We're going to talk basketball here in just a moment. Maybe I need to pipe down just a little bit. But speaking of our sponsor, Kalshi, we had a fun time last night during the watch party. If you didn't watch it, it was an absolute blast. Cody showed off his silver. We had a show and tell party. That was, look, it's unfortunate if you didn't get to see that, because you're welcome that you didn't get to see that. But it was an absolute blast. But we watched Kalshi the entire game, and I've told you it's a blast to watch it because it's like the stock market. And at one point, Florida was at 22 cents. Colorado was at like 70 cents or 75 cents, right? Because they were the favorites to win. This was going into half because we were down. And I was like, boys, this is the time to get in. Florida's low, right? And our guy, Brett Brown, got in at 22, or Eugene, I don't know who it was, got in at 22 cents. We had a little bit of a run right after the second half. We went all the way up to 48 cents. They doubled their money in like 5 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Like literally, if you would have sold at the 48-cent mark, they doubled their money. Some people wrote it out, lost it, just like you would in the stock market. But it's fun. It's a unique way of betting where you can bet on moments of the game versus just the game. Does that make sense? Like you can bet on the hot spots. If you can be smart enough knowing when to put in and when to put out, it's a great time over at Kalshi. Be sure to use the code HIGHTOP to get $10 off your first $100 deposit at Kalshi.com. Link is in the description. Now, after the game, I had a complete crash out. And I haven't had a crash out like that ever when it comes to on air anyways. But basketball does something different to me. And I don't know if it's because it's just that constant high and you can lose it like that. Like you can feel you're going to win it and lose it all within a matter of seconds. Football, there's a little more ebb and flow to it. Like a buzzer beater, when it happens in football, it hurts, but it's almost like just like sucks the air out of the room because you're like, how'd that just happen? Basketball, like you're like constantly always right there. And we fought back. We're in it. We make a great play to get the ball out of bounds. We get the ball with 9 seconds left. I'm thinking, do we hold it? Do we take, like, I'm thinking big play here, right? Like I'm thinking big time, not knowing that my doofus guard wasn't going to throw the ball in with 5 seconds. We had no timeouts for like 30 minutes ago. So if I'm Todd, I'm saying, hey, we ain't got timeouts. We don't need a Michigan Fab 5 situation, okay? Like, that was going through my head. I mean, these cats are going to forget they ain't got a timeout. And Boogie obviously holds on for too long. We get a 5-second violation, and the rest is history. We lose, and I lose it. I'm like, how? Stuff like that drives me batty. We would have missed the free throw, the three-pointers, whatever, but that's like being 5 yards off the corner, the wide receivers and cornerbacks. Like, it just drives me batty. Like, this is T-ball shit, brother. How count in your head, scream it, like how do you not get the ball in? And I lost it. I absolutely lost it. It went berserk. I wanted everybody gone. Send everybody back. Get Hugh to get us the money back. Let's go buy some offensive linemen. I was done. I've cooled down, and I still feel the same way. No, I'm better. I understand that, look, basketball is a long season. And in all reality, these games mean, from a win-loss perspective, mean absolutely nothing. They do. They literally do. And I love what Todd did this year versus last year, is putting these boys in some blenders early. I mean, talk about putting them into a box quick. And he did. And all things considered, where we have 4 losses, one atrocious loss to TCU, the other one's to arguably 3 top 10 basketball teams, all on the road. All on the road. And we've been right there and have not looked good at all. So you have that sense of hope that these guys, the Xavier Lees and the Boogie Flans that were paid $14 million each to come play here will eventually remember how to play basketball. I don't know. But I'll let you go, Hollywood. I've rambled enough about my escapade on that game there.
Yeah, so I think first and foremost we'll address your crash out, and I think the one thing that's probably the most frustrating of a couple of the situations this year is that Florida's had an opportunity to either take a lead or tie a game late and didn't even get a shot up. So you're talking Duke. Obviously, when Duke hit the three-pointer to go up by 1, Florida takes the ball down and turns the ball over. And then, of course, last night, which I think that 5-second call was a little quick. I think Todd addressed it in an interview or in the post-game press conference where he said we timed it with a stopwatch and it was at 4.6, 4.7. It seemed like a little bit of a quick 5-second call. Granted, you don't want to push it all the way to that 5 seconds. But I have to give UConn credit, man. They did a phenomenal job guarding on the perimeter. And I'd like to address my tweet about saying this is the Xavier Lee that we were expecting when we came into the season. And I got a bunch of backlash on that because he went 5 for 14, 1 for 7 from 3. My tweet, one, was towards the beginning of the game when he was playing really well and hadn't missed a bunch of shots. And second, I still stand by my tweet because the Xavier Lee that we saw last night, far better than what we've seen at any point in the season that was not the Providence game. And I still think it was a better game, even though he scored 20 against Providence. I still think he played a better game last night against UConn than he did in that Providence game. Whether his 5 for 14, 1 for 7 from 3, that didn't bother me because he did a phenomenal job of getting to the paint, spraying out to open players, and getting to the free throw line. Xavier Lee's stat line last night was 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 0 turnovers. That is a phenomenal stat line for a guard. And he played, like I said, by far his best game of the year. Now, obviously, you're not super happy with your bench production. The Florida Gators got 6 points. 6 points from the bench last night.
I had 6 points too at home.
As compared to
24
from UConn. So that's a big difference. It's a big difference. Now, and Urban Klavzar, who's averaged, I think, close to double digits off the bench, had 3 points last night.
Yeah, he was quiet. Not a lot of threes were thrown up last night either, which was
3 points last night. Now, he only shot 3 times, and he didn't shoot a single 3.
UConn was suffocating that line. Suffocating. They wanted us to drive, and we couldn't get in there either. And Lee played better. 100% agree. My problem with Lee was, again, when the room got hot, he went cold, just like Boogie has. And look, a lot of time to turn it around and figure some things out. But I was extremely frustrated. Again, it's still very early. I know it means nothing at this time of year, but we're national champs. We have high expectations, obviously, of what. And I hate Coach Hurley. I can't stand that guy. And so I just wanted to beat him more than anything.
Yeah, no, and your frustration makes sense because obviously, like you said, defending national champions to start out the year 5-4 is less than ideal. But you're talking about a 5-4 team that's lost 3 games, all by less than 6 points, or 6 points or less, to 3 top 5 teams in the country. Arizona's ranked number 1 right now. Duke's ranked number 3, and UConn's ranked number 5.
Crazy.
And every one of those games, Florida was within 1 possession inside of, I think, 15 seconds.
And you got to think
that game.
And you got to think, right? Like if you go and you're playing these teams in March Madness, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a small nuance and a small thing that go look at our games last year. Every game outside of the first round was played that exact same way, and we just got the last laugh at the last second. We didn't dominate a single team after the first round. I mean, UConn was a dogfight. Texas Tech was a dogfight. That was the Angels in the outfield game where we were down by like 12 with 2 to go, and it was just you can't believe that what we did there. Maryland, I think, was probably our most comfortable game, but it was still hard fought with Queen earlier on. Auburn was obviously a close one. In Houston, we led for 60 seconds. I mean, it's we kind of live like that, and we're playing very similar. We just don't have the explosive guard play like we did, and hopefully, again, it comes together. Again, I just wonder, is Todd gonna? I think Will from the Breakfast Club Gators, he quoted my tweet because I said Todd needs to hold these boys accountable, and he goes, he will. But my thing is, like, Lee has been pure ass for how many games now? What is the line? I don't know. Maybe because I'm thinking like football terms, but basketball terms, like this is maybe like 2 games in football world where it's like it's not enough of a sample size. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with that one, and I can't believe I keep having to say this. You're never going to replace someone like a Walter Clayton, or you're never going to replace the production of the 3 senior guards that left last year. Walter Clayton, arguably one of, if not the best basketball player ever to come through the University of Florida, was the best tough shot maker and closer in college basketball last year, and it wasn't close. So when you have somebody like that on the roster, you know exactly where you're going with the ball in late game situations. I don't think Florida knows that yet.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of starting to become apparent that maybe Tommy Houck needs to be that guy moving forward through the rest of the season. He's hit a bunch of good big shots late in games in some of these bigger games, but you're not getting the same, I guess, warm up to start the season like Florida did last year.
Sure.
Florida's out of conference last year was abysmal, and they went into conference play unscathed, lost a couple of tough ones in conference, but ended up rounding into form late in the season, ran through the SEC tournament and eventually the NCAA tournament. You're getting those SEC tournament, NCAA tournament games within the first 10 games of the year this year, while you're still trying to figure out a rotation of guys that haven't been there. So Walter Clayton, Will Richard, Alex Condon, Thomas Houck, Ruben Chinulu had all played together last year. Obviously, the new guy was Elijah Martin, and the kind of player that Elijah Martin is can seamlessly transition into another team because he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands. He's not a ball-dominant guy. He can help you out in many ways other than just scoring. Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee are guys that have the ball in their hands most of the time. So I think they're still figuring out how to play together. I think the team is figuring out how to play with new primary ball handlers, new guards. Like Urban's got a much larger role this year.
Yep.
With guys like Xavier Lee and Boogie Flan. So while it's discouraging to see them 5-4 early in the season, I think this tough start to the season is going to pay dividends to what is to come for the SEC schedule and eventually the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament.
I like tennis.
Sorry, Dave. We were talking basketball, buddy. You good?
Big Ben Shelton fan, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I watched. Hey, look, I watched a little bit of basketball. All right, okay, give me some cred, give me some street cred. You know, my buddy Allen. You know, shout out to Allen.
He goes to his one game back in Atlanta last year. Watch.
Hey, look, man, he got me into basketball. Took me to Atlanta. You know, I was hyped. Hey, look, when I started watching basketball, we won a natty. All right, I'm still kind of watching it now. Probably need to watch it later on down the road. But hey, look, like I think this happened, didn't it, last year with the team? Like maybe they looked a little bit off, and then they got into, like you said, they got into conference play and all that, started heating up and all that other kind of stuff. But it's like, look, I look at these road games. It's like it was UConn, then it was Duke, then it was, what was it, Arizona at the beginning of the season. I mean, you kept all those games close, right? So
yeah,
like,
you've got two neutral site games, and I use the term neutral site very loosely because UConn playing in Madison Square Garden, essentially a home game for UConn, and then Arizona playing in Vegas again, essentially a home game for
it's like a
for
2-hour
Arizona.
drive. Yeah.
And I think that like once every player starts playing more consistently, I think this team is going to be very dangerous. Hopefully, if they are. But as I said, I am not the basketball expert, but I do watch some of these games. And I did watch your little crash out last night, Sheldon.
Thanks, Dave. We got it. I crashed out, all right? And look, people are like, hey, you can't replace 3 NBA players. And I my crash out wasn't my brightest moment, all right? My buddy sent me a clip of saliva jumping off my mouth and onto my beard and then off my beard again. It was pretty amazing. Honestly, I'll play it. I don't even care because it was that embarrassing. Actually, as we're talking about it, I'll pull it up.
No, I think we've all crashed out before on this show. I think I remember when we kept Napier for another year, I was crashing out. I think I crashed out like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. You've had a couple for sure. Yeah. But my thing was, again, like how much money we've given these guys. It's more where my head's at. It's like, and it's just stupid stuff is what I get mad about. It's not the losing. It was because he didn't pass it in with 5 like, and then there was lack of urgency was where my anger started to occur as well too. Like he was just kind of jogging down the court, like, brother, we are down. You have to go. Like I was like, this is like Napier 2.0. All right, don't laugh at me. All right, here it is.
Good Lord, baby.
I'll watch it one more time.
Like you know somebody is You know they're really angry when the saliva starts coming out. You just know it.
I think it's more impressive. I've got like that stuff that you put on your pants, like that has water bead off. Like it's on my beard. Like it's there.
It just rolled off.
It was like
Sheldon's got a moisture wicking beard.
I was about to say, man, the spit was afraid of him. Like the spit didn't even want to be there. It was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. This guy's going nuts.
Oh my goodness! I'm a rabid fan. Listen, I don't mind being embarrassed for it. I saw a quote the other day that said, "It's embarrassment is an untouched feeling, and it is an unexperienced feeling, and it is. You gotta be. It's okay to be embarrassed. It's good for you." Real quick, the buddy that sent me that video, it's his birthday today. Call Me Old Fashioned, runs a phenomenal bourbon review channel. Go check it out. The guy turns 39 today, so go give him a like. Go give him a shout out. Yeah, go say happy 39th birthday in his comment section. He'll love you forever for that.
Hey, I like a nice little brew on a Friday and all that stuff too. Go over there and watch the channel, man. It's really cool.
Yeah,
like
Browse is spitting wooden nickels at the moment. Shelton meme coming in 3, 2. Yeah, I knew what I was getting myself into when I posted that video. I was gonna post it last night, but I was too angry to post it. I wasn't ready for the. People were mad at me for my actions, rightfully so. I'm glad I got held accountable. Shelton's beard is waterproof. The Gore-Tex beard. The chat never misses, dude. It's so incredible. It's so incredible. With all their stuff there. Look. I don't know if you have any more nuggets for us, but obviously there's a lot of talk. We interviewed the O-line coach from Pittsburgh. Golly, the spit things. I mean, in shambles. From Penn State, Phil Trotwine. Yeah, Trotwine. Which is awesome news. We've talked about him. We've kind of heard some rumblings about it. And I read today, and I was like, man, my boy Johnny got game. Like, we've interviewed him. All is done on our side. And essentially, he's kind of waiting to see what we do. Like, John's like, I got to go see what's in store. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing his due diligence. As for the Faulkner situation, I spoke about it this morning. I'll let you two gents give your take on it, on your feelings of staying, the Southern Miss smoke. Is there any, realness to that? Swatter, you can get after, then we'll let Hollywood go.
You got to go pee or something? No, I'm just kidding.
I already went.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about that, and I've got a few DMs about Faulkner, and look, like, these situations, obviously, anything could happen, but you see the board post of Southern Miss, and Hugh Freeze, his name came up, Faulkner's names came up there, but I think what Florida did really well, and we talked about it too, is they kind of put something in that contract or whatever, like when Faulkner had signed it or whatever, that they're going to have to owe, I think it was like $1.2 million if they're going to hire Faulkner as like a buyout or something like that within a 120-day window. And I think that's really smart. And I believe, who was it? I think Drinkwitz has done that before with some of his contracts and some of his guys. He's put that kind of clause into there too as well. So I think that was really smart. As far as like my confidence in it, I mean, I've never really worried about it to begin with. I mean, I know it's like I know it's a story, and I know it's something I guess you could look at and say, well, okay, well, maybe I'm worried about this, but I don't know. I just haven't. It just never really, to me, it never really came up to me as a big deal. I don't know about you, Connor. You go ahead. You have probably more insight on that whole situation.
Yeah, Hollywood's about to drop that Sumrall's not even the head coach anymore. Just sit back, boys. Relax. Here he comes.
yeah. Hollywood takes all the smoke off of me. So go ahead, man.
No. I have to agree with you, Dave. As far as that buyout clause, if indeed, so I haven't been able to independently verify that is factored in. I don't know if either of you guys have. We haven't really talked much about this outside of right now. But yeah, I mean, I think if that is indeed the case, a brilliant move by Florida, first and foremost, to put that clause into what's going on with Faulkner. And if you're talking $1.25 million just to buy him out of his contract with Florida, and then you have to pay him as well, just to kind of throw some stuff out there for you. Huff, who was the coach at USM this last year, I think was making $900,000. is like $850,000 or $900,000 this last year to coach, and that was just his salary. You're talking about paying more than that just to get Faulkner out of his contract with Florida, and then having to pay him as well. And I think that board post said they're going to have to pony up some money just for his contract. Now, Huff's staff salary for his entire on-field coaching staff was $1.7 million. And from my understanding, that is either equal to or less than what Florida is offering Faulkner to come be the offensive coordinator in Gainesville. So the only thing that I could see happening here is if Faulkner really, really wants to be a head coach. He did coach at Southern Miss in 2019 as their offensive coordinator. So he has some ties there. But when you talk about salary, you talk about ability to eventually transition to a P4 job, I think Florida's the best situation for him because let's face it, guys. Even though this is a phenomenal hire, and if he ends up at Florida, he's here for 1 to 2 years tops before he gets as long as he's successful, before he gets a P4 coaching opportunity.
That was what I said this morning. I go, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because Southern Miss isn't a forever job. The concern is obviously he's coached there before, and he turned down the Memphis job, which a lot of us are confused, which is a much better job than Southern Miss. But you're going to Southern Miss for 2 years. That's his Troy, essentially, in his timeline, right? But you could Will Stein this thing. That's what I said this morning. You go get paid more to go be the OC at Florida. You're going to get more limelight that way. You may not get to technically build an entire roster, but you get a great learning experience under somebody who is coming from a Power 5 or a G5 school to build the roster. So you're going to get to watch it and be a part of it to some extent, and see how things are ran, and then get paid more. But then also you'll be able to jump into a Power 4 spot, which is where you want to be probably in 2 years anyways. So what's the ultimate goal? To be a head coach at a Power 4 school. Then what's your best opportunity to get there? I believe it's being the OC for the Florida Gators. Again, I'm not concerned about it. What I said this morning too was, in the world when I was growing up and trying to move up the corporate ladder, you want to do interviews. You want to take chances, whether you believe. I remember my first interview. I interviewed for a manager job, and my manager looked me straight in the eyes and said, "You don't have a chance in hell of getting this job." And I was like, I just want to see what it takes and see what I can learn from it. And I busted my ass off of how can I interview as best as I possibly can. And afterwards, she's like, I can't believe that I'm actually considering it. You're probably not going to get it, but you knock this thing out of the park, and next time this thing comes around, we're going to take you. I don't think he's in that scenario, but I think that it's an opportunity, that it's another notch to his belt, that I've interviewed this, and this school, and I turned them all down. That's how wanted I am. And he can use it for leverage, not necessarily for now, but for later. And I think that's what it's really boiling down to be quite honest with you. I think what's kind of giving us all a little bit of EBGBs is that it just hasn't been officially announced. Also, too, with the names we're hearing, obviously with the interviews of Coach PT, the offensive line, Filthy Phil, and the running back coach that's being tossed around, those names that are circling, you got to assume that they're also speaking with Faulkner, right? That he's a part of these conversations. I don't think that Sumrall is just running around with his head cut off, just piecing it together. And man, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this too before we wrap it up. I think we've covered everything that I can think of. If the staff comes together like it appears to be, I mean, the guy is, dude, first 30 days, man. I know it's all on paper. I know that there's a lot of production, but and maybe we were just so abused by our past owner, that we will take anything. But this guy has really hit the ground running, and I don't know if he's done a good job of just asking around. But man, this guy is. It doesn't seem like a freshman in the game, and I know he's been a head coach, but you know what I mean. He understands where he's at and what it takes and how to get it, from what it sounds like thus far.
Yeah, the initial impression I got from him just from his opening presser was that he was a really real, honest guy, high intensity, wants to win now. And look, I mean, he's coming here and trying to hire the best of the best, right? Like, he's trying to get the best coordinators that he knows will run with a system at Florida. He even said, I'm not going to hire my best friends. Like this, if they're not going to work out at Florida, I'm not going to hire them. And I know that he brought one guy over there that he's worked with before, no big deal, whatever. But he also did say, if it's not going to work at Florida, he's not going to do it. And look, he's shooting for the stars. If he doesn't happen to land one of the guys that he's supposed to get out of the 5, he's going to go shoot for another higher coach. Like it's not the fact that like you miss on one, and he's got like a $16.5 million
Budget.
staff budget for everything too. So that's a lot of money. So of course he's shooting for the stars. And as you said, Shelton, it's like kind of like when you're that abused dog and that person that's really nice comes up there to pet you, and you kind of just, you know, you kind of shill your head a little bit like that. it's kind of weird. So like we're all in this space of, you know, just having Napier here and him holding on to his friends, and Dan Mullen holding on to his friends, and like, you know, you're kind of just in a PTSD mode of like, okay, is this guy the real deal? Is he going to hire his friends? And so far, so I mean, like, look, he's been honest about everything that he has said so far. Now, of course, he's still got to go through his coaching tenure and be successful through all of that. But as far as what I've seen right now from him as a head coach and his personality, he's a man of his word. And I kind of like that from a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I just echo those same sentiments, Dave. Now, he hasn't brought, officially, he has not brought a single person over with him from Tulane. Now, that's going to change. There are going to be some people that he brings over with him. It's already been rumored that he's going to bring Jeremiah Cartwright, the director of football operations over there at Tulane, off-field guy. There's been some rumors that, Bam Hardman is going to come over with him as well, outside linebackers coach, who is a Florida alum. And then his
the
GM
director guy
over at Tulane.
Oh, that guy, the GM guy,
So
both those guys,
the GM
director
at Tulane, Cole Hurd, who Florida fans should be ecstatic that he's bringing Cole Hurd over. Cole Hurd is a superstar in this industry, off-field guy, general manager at Tulane. I'm not sure the exact title that he's going to have coming over to Florida, because obviously Dave Caldwell has the GM title and the GM position. But Cole Hurd is phenomenal. He's familiar with the state of Florida. He was at UCF for 2 years under Gus Malzahn when he was their assistant director of recruiting when they signed two of the highest rated recruiting classes in program history under Gus Malzahn. He's a superstar in this industry. And I understand that Florida fans are going to probably have a little bit of PTSD when they see some Tulane staffers come over with John Sumrall. But from my understanding, the names that I've heard that he's planning on or are supposed to be coming over with him are all guys that absolutely are Florida material, and fans should be excited about it.
Those names I'm actually very excited about. One, the GM guy, I read your tweet when you tweeted that, which again, like that just kind of seems like a superpower because we already have a GM, and now you're bringing I would say a very certified GM that could come in and be the GM if need be, but you took an NFL approach and you're going to bring a guy that also understands the collegiate approach, which is fantastic. And the other guy, the director or what have you, is like his right-hand man that helps him facilitate his day. So that isn't really that big of a deal. It's somebody he needs to be able to trust. Like that's irrelevant in my opinion. The guy has zero, I mean, maybe not zero, but it's somebody he trusts to run his day-to-day, to run his second cell phone, to help him tweet the cringy tweet that everyone's making fun of him wearing two separate shirts, which I greatly appreciate it. I want to say that. And obviously everyone's like, of course you do. It's your coach. But here's the thing. Was it a bit cringy? I don't know if you guys saw the tweet. I tweeted it out where he said two teams, 2 phones, slept 2 hours, and he's wearing a tweet. Here's what's that?
2. And you know what? You said certified GM. He's going to be a certified G and a certified GM.
Yeah. Well, I love it because it shows vulnerability. And I just said the whole thing about it's okay to be embarrassed. Like, I know exactly how he was feeling in that moment when he tweeted it. Why? Because I felt that way before. You're just juiced up. You're flying high. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're like, yo, this is awesome. You have this, like, it's a runner's high. And you just, like, I want to brag about it. I want to be excited about it, but I don't want to be a douche about it. So how can I do it? And that was what came out of it. And a year from now, I'm like, yeah, that was probably a douchey tweet, whatever, or a dorky tweet or a cringy tweet. Who gives a damn? Give me a coach with some authenticity that's going to fumble his words, that might spit on his beard and it falls off a little bit. That's what I want. I don't want this same ass hashtag journey shit, all right? Give me a cringy ass tweet. 2 phones, two tables. I don't care. Get him on here. I love it.
So I did see a question in the comments asking if he's keeping Katie and Joe Hamilton.
Yes, sir.
I can't speak to the Katie side of things. I know she is married to David Decker, so I don't know if that's a package deal kind of thing. If Decker decides to go elsewhere, if Katie follows, or if she were to stay. But I can tell you with 100% certainty that Joe Hamilton is a priority to keep here by John Sumrall and his staff.
Okay, and Decker's an up and comer, so that would be a guy that I would be okay with retaining. That was spoke very highly about on this staff. Cody says your Notre Dame argument still sucks. I don't believe that it is. I don't believe that it is. John Wilcox, the strength and conditioning coach, I'd be okay if he brought as well. Rusty Witt, I would be completely content if he brought him.
And a lot of times that happens because your strength and conditioning coach is essentially your head coach for 6 months out of the year or whatever it is during the off season. So most times guys will bring their strength and conditioning coaches with them because that's essentially their right hand. So we don't really know what that's going to look like until somebody shows up and has this stuff. Obviously, I've done a deep dive and I've watched he's like a former Green Beret, military guy, and the shit that you see online gets you real juiced. So I would like to say that he's going to be a phenomenal hire if and when he brings him over, but you don't really know until they come over to this program. You get them on the field, you get these players on the field, and that kind of plays itself out.
The guy's got. Go ahead, Dave.
And like the tweet that he had made, and everybody's calling it cringy. You think he even really cares? No.
It was opposing fan bases, right? And look, when you take a step back and you take off kind of the beer goggles a little bit, like, yeah, it was like if somebody else tweeted it, we make fun of it too. But I'm supporting it from the sense of like I appreciate him being that fired up of what he's doing and proud of what he's accomplished, and he's willing to talk about it. Like that's where I'm at with it. Look, I'd rather have that than Lansing Falls. I mean, that's just besides the point. But look, good stuff. Very, very, very excited. Great show. A lot of great conversations. A lot of great nuggets from our guy Hollywood. A lot of great basketball tapes from Swolder over there. The guy was on the ball. Man. Guy was on the ball.
I felt absent for like 30 minutes.
me and Clarky were we were rolling there for a minute. I
started putting on shades, like putting shades on my head. I mean.
We got the boys got some merch. Swarter, you look good in it. Obviously the shop is up and flowing, and we're gonna be dropping hashtag GMF t-shirts here in just a bit, which I'm really excited about.
I didn't get that one, Dave.
Oh, I see. I knew this. The kids are gonna get pissed. I didn't. I love it.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
You know what?
The Sumrall merch is fantastic.
It is so fun. I love it. I love it. It came together well.
The Sumrall merch is fantastic. If you guys don't have it yet, go to the shop, buy it, wear it all over the place. Air Sumrall, all that stuff. It's phenomenal stuff. Shelton really outdid himself on that stuff, man.
I really hope I can get one for Sumrall. He wears it to a meeting. That would just be, he don't even come on the show.
Just have him wear it to when we have him on here for an interview.
Good point. I feel like we got a chance. He went on Barstool.
Have him rocking some high top merch or something.
Could you imagine? Now, look, it don't be high top. I just needs to be Sumrall. The stuff we made for him. You know what I mean? The stuff supporting him. He's rocking the whole gear. Maybe not. Might be weird. His kid would like it. I'd imagine he likes Jordan. So we'll get little man one. So
I mean, if he'll go up Barstool, he'll come here. I mean,
anything on Russ Callaway? He's the one coach that hasn't been officially retained or not retained. I don't know the intricacies of that one. I do know he's worked with Faulkner in the past at Valdosta State, which I think is why some people thought he would be retained. But we'll have to see what happens. I'm waiting for some other more important hires to be announced. That I'm not too terribly concerned about Russ Callaway right now. Amen. Piccolo says I got a hoodie and a tee. Let's go.
Even if they kept Russ Callaway, I'm sure it's going to be in a role that's not like, oh, he's the OC, like with Billy Napier and all that. It's going to be a different role.
To be strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, absolutely.
Almost 1,200 in here for over an hour long. You guys have been great. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Our guy Bozeman's on a cruise right now, getting his drink on, having himself a blast. Happy Wednesday to all of you guys. Y'all be good, be safe. We'll see you sooner rather than later. Hopefully we get some news. We can have a little drop. I knew. Look, this is why they're still here. The
Advent calendar.
That's the only reason why they're here. I knew that's the only reason why they show up. You know what's funny is my son. He did it with me one day because he missed a day, And now every day he's like, Dad, we gotta do the Gator one, and I gotta break
It's
his
for the
heart.
kiddos.
Like, it's for the show. I'm sorry. Get off my calendar.
It's for the kiddos.
It's because he also ruined his calendar when his grandpa was watching him. He's like, when it brought it to his grandpa, I was like, can we open them? And he opened every single day. So he ruined his advent calendar. And now he gets to watch me and Mom every morning open our advent calendars. Sucks to suck, kid. Don't be an idiot. All right, here we go. I don't know who is that. Number 7?
I don't know. What are the colors?
Was ETN 7?
Denver.
What is it?
Is that
What
like
is?
It's
Is
Gator.
that a Florida one?
Yeah, they're all. It's a Florida advent calendar, Dave.
Well, I don't know. I'm assuming so.
It's very blurry, Sheldon.
Yeah, I know. It's just a football player with number 7. I don't know. I know. Look,
Maybe
these
it's,
are the other ones you guys haven't
It's
seen.
Amir
These.
Jackson.
Yeah. There you go. That one's not blurry.
Emmett Smith.
See? Oh, now we're good. Bridges, Drakos Bridges.
Yeah, it was Trekwitz Bridges, man.
Cornelius Ingram. There you go. That,
Oh,
it could be that
there
one.
we go, bro. The
Could be CI.
chat's undefeated, bro. The chat's
Could be
unbelievable.
CI.
100%. It has to be. It has to be. Yeah, it's Cornelius Ingram.
I'm so
God,
bad
I
with,
love
like,
the chat,
the
dude. They're
jersey
so
numbers.
fun, man. Yeah, we got C4 here. We were struggling with the other night, and the chat had it like within like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Is there another 20? Here, I'm going to ask you guys. I think this is the one my son opened. I got another 22. And I don't.
Adam
looks-
Lane.
Is there a little poo spot right there? Is that Adam Lane?
It looks different
Turn
than
it
him.
around real quick.
It's clear. It's clear.
Turn around. No poo. Okay, so that's not Adam Lane.
Good call, Jeremy. Good call, Jeremy. All right. I forgot. The reason why you guys tune in. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning live at, I don't know. I'll see you in the morning whenever I wake up. Y'all be good. Be safe. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Love the one next year, y'all, you boys and girls. Smash the like button, damn it. Peace and love.
It's hot top sports.
K-Jack.
where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats. The
Khalil
champ
Jack,
with
the
fist.
walk
Roll
on.
bring your
Put him in the
five-pound
advent
boy,
calendar.
rotten bold. Bulls call him
Rashad
back. Watch
Torrance.
the
He
stories
runs number
unfold.
22 when he first got to Florida.
And his truly eyebrows running the show.